Warning: the following game footage contains a major reward for collecting all of a certain collectible in the game. If you don't want the reward spoiled for you, then be sure to close the screen in any way you see fit that doesn't sacrifice audio. Enjoy the video. Hey everyone, this is a Sad Night's Journey, and I'm done trying to record a playthrough of Journey. Yeah, this was supposed to be the next playthrough that I would upload to my channel, but I played through the game 4 times now, and every time I tried to record the whole game, it just wouldn't. What I mean is that in some chapters, when I start a recording on it, it wouldn't record the whole chapter, but instead like a little part of it. I don't know why that is, and I'm pretty sure it's the game that's doing this, because I've recorded other games on the PS4, and they've worked just fine. So I don't know why it's Journey that's being selective with its recording. So yeah, I can't give you a playthrough, but here's a review of it instead. So, let's get started, shall we? Journey is the third game from developer That Game Company. Yeah, their name is That Game Company, who have brought you 2 other games. There was Flow, which was about life underwater, and you had to control this little fish to evolve it into a bigger fish to explore deeper underwater. And then there was Flower, which was about bringing new life on Earth by blossoming up flowers as you control the breath of the wind. And now we have Journey, which just recently released on PlayStation 4. But before we talk about the differences between the PS3 and PS4 versions, let's talk about the game first, starting with the story. The story is about a red-robed traveler who only has one goal: to get to the mountaintop and to walk into the light. It's pretty simple, but there is more to it. Before the end of each chapter, you activate these meditating spots, which upon entering, you meet up with these huge white-robed people who I'm going to see as the Elder Travelers. And so the Elder Travelers tell you more about the world you're wandering around in. And since the game has no dialogue, you're just going to have to interpret what is being shown to you. You also get to go across a variety of different locations throughout your journey. I'm not going to talk about those because I think you should experience the game for yourself just to see the different locations you come across. That, or you can watch another video to find out, whichever which. And now we move on to the controls. The controls are very simple. You only need 2 buttons. The X button, which allows you to jump as well as fly with enough power, and the circle button, which allows you to do a chime sound with a bigger area the longer you hold the circle, which is not only used to interact with cloth creatures, but you can also use it to activate stones, which activate meditation spots as well as uncover ancient glyphs, and you can also use it to interact with the other travelers, which we'll get to later on in the review. There's also 2 other buttons that are not really needed but can be used for other things. There's the options button, which allows you to sit and meditate, which is to signify away from controller, as well as it being used to unlock an achievement. And then there's the touchpad, which is the same as options, but it brings up the pause menu. So yeah, there's not much difference between the options and the touchpad. And that's all there really is to the controls. And now we move on to gameplay. The gameplay, like everything else I talked about in this review, is very simple. You fly, you surf, and do all sorts of things as you come across different locations. And it all works for this game because it's an indie. Indie games are all about simplicity. Not always, but it does help that the game is very simple to understand. And that's what makes it enjoyable, because you don't need to memorize every single button prompt. There's also an online feature where you get to encounter other travelers along your journey just by running into them. The game in the background does a little matchmaking to get you matched up with another traveler, and it works because it's all very simple. It's simple and it works. Everything is simple. Why couldn't life be simpler? So yeah, gameplay, like everything, is very simple and it works. Now let's move on to the graphics. The graphics in this game are so beautiful, especially the one part in the game where the camera pans to the side and it shows the sun shining down upon the sand. It looks so lovely. So lovely, in fact, that I wish I had a portrait of it on my wall. So yeah, graphics. They are very good. And they look better on the PS4. And as we're speaking of the PS4 version looking better, that leads to the comparison between the PS3 and PS4 versions. Now it's obvious that the PS4 version is better due to the higher resolution and frame rate, but I've also noticed that your traveler's robes as well as his scarf react more dynamically to the wind, probably due to the increased physics. But aside from those differences, the two versions play exactly the same. There's no real difference, so really you're just playing the exact same game, just with better looking graphics and higher frame rate. But that's not to say the PS3 version is bad. You can have fun with that too. And the game is cross-buy, so if you buy the PS4 version, you get the PS3 version for free and vice versa. And with that out of the way, let's move on to the value of the game. Now at the time of making this review, in the UK, the game is £11.99. £9.59 if you're a PlayStation Plus member. But I will say, the game takes under 2 hours to complete. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would I pay £11.99 for a game I can complete in 2 hours? Well, first, I think the value of the game comes from the experience. So, if you like games where you enjoy the stories and the worlds around them and the interesting facts about them, sort of like the Telltale games, then you may enjoy this. But if you're the type of person that likes lots of content, such as lots of missions, unlockables and such, then this may be too much money for very little. But again, the value comes from the experience, so whether you're willing to pay for it, that's entirely up to you. But I suggest talking with your wallet first, just to see if he's okay with it. And second, I think 2 hours is just about right for this game. Any longer, and I think it would have lost some of its steam. Like, it would probably get a little more boring towards the end. So I think 2 hours is right, at least in my opinion. And now we come to the conclusion of the review. So with all that said and done, what do I think of the game? Well, after replaying it on PS4, I still like this game. I really do. And I still think of it as one of my favorite games of all time. Even though the message is obvious about it's more about the journey than the destination, it's still a good message, because really you should enjoy the game and the awesome moments that you'll have in it. Unless it's a bad game, then you'll probably enjoy it when it ends, because then you no longer have to suffer through a bad game. But getting back on track quickly, yes, I still like Journey. Will you like it? Probably. Should you try it? Yeah, I think you should. You may like it, if you're willing to try something new. There's even a demo on the PS3 if you're willing to try it out. I don't know if there'll ever be a demo for the PS4. They might add it in the future, so I don't really know. But yeah, Journey. You should try it at some point. You may find something amazing. So that was my review of Journey. What did you think? Was this a good review? Was it not? Do you think I should improve on a few things? Let me know in the comments. The very few people that will watch this video because I am not popular. But yeah, that was my review on Journey. This is a sad night's journey. Oh yeah, by the way, this game was part of the reason why I have my username as it is, in case it wasn't obvious. So yeah, this is a sad night's journey, saying goodbye, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hey everyone, this is a sad night's journey, and I'm done trying to record a playthrough on Destiny. Destiny? No, I mean Journey. No! Oh,